Karnataka is firmly behind us, and now all eyes are on key state elections that take place later this year. Among the states that are going to the polls is Madhya Pradesh, a state that the Congress has not been in power since 2003. Even though there is a lot of anti-incumbency against Shivraj Chauhan in MP this time, the Congress has its own set of challenges to deal with, which is what makes the Madhya Pradesh election this time more interesting and perhaps even more crucial because it comes on the eve of the general election. Well, joining us on NDTV this evening is one of the men who, of course, is a very key part of Madhya Pradesh politics and possibly a face for its leadership, former Chief Minister Digvijaya Singh here in the studio with us. Mr. Singh, thank you for joining us today. Let me first ask you about your Padyatra, because you were away and sort of out of the limelight and off the political radar for more than 6 months. What did you learn from that?
Well, it was more of a personal kind of a commitment made to myself years ago, and I kept it totally non-political, and we walked along the river Narmada, which is the only river in the world where this kind of parikrama takes place. There's a huge anger and disappointment against the BJP government. In fact, I walked for 11 days in the Chief Minister's constituency. The illegal mining is something which you have to see to believe it. Illegal mining to the extent that near his home village, Jayat, without any lease, thousands of trucks of sand has been mined without any lease or license. Also, the claim of planting 6.5 crore saplings along the river Narmada was a total fraud. We could not count even 50,000 saplings in our walk of 3,100 kilometers. So this government can be voted out, provided we all work together and sort of organize our campaign in the right format.
That's interesting. Can be voted out, provided that we all work together and organize our campaign in the right format. What do you mean by that? Because that was going to be my next question. In Madhya Pradesh, the Congress has the advantage, and some would say the massive disadvantage, of having so many possible leaders to choose from. 3 of you in particular, you, Mr. Kamal Nath and Jyotiraditya Scindia. Has that really been has that chapter been closed? Are you all really in sync right now?
We are totally in sync. And also at the same time, we are working together. Mr. Congress President Rahul Gandhi has given tasks to each one of us. Mr. Kamal Nath is heading the organization. Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia is heading the campaign. And I've been asked to bring coordination amongst the state leaders and the Congress workers. And also Mr. Suresh Pachori, Mr. Arun Yadav, Mr. Ajay Singh, Rahul, all of them have been given their task, and we are all working like a team at the moment. But
you have all been famous for having different factions in Madhya Pradesh, which was one of the Congress's biggest weakness over the years. And I'm asking you this because you are very candid about these things. Is that now a thing of the past? We saw you all on stage together with Rahul Gandhi recently. Has that feuding, that factionalism been put aside?
See, factionalism is a part of politics, and in fact there is a factionalism even in BJP, whether you see in Delhi or the state. So factionalism will always be there when there are ambitious political people working together, but there is a limit to that kind of factionalism. We all realize that we've been out of power for the last 15 years, and the people of Madhya Pradesh have suffered. BJP government has been giving false figures of agriculture production, false promises, and there's a huge anti-incumbency against Shivraj Chauhan.
So in other words, you realize that if you don't come together,
yes,
you don't survive.
And the pressure of the political workers, the Congress party workers, and the people of Madhya Pradesh is such that we have to come together. I'll give you one instance. I had gone to a district headquarter where the chowkidar of that circuit house, who I have known for years, he quietly came and told me, साहब हम सरकार को बदलना चाहते हैं, जनता बदलना चाहती है, आप लोग सब एक हो जाइए. This is the sentiment of the common man in Madhya Pradesh.
Well, you used an interesting phrase, ambitious political people. Are you among, do you still nurse the ambition to be a chief minister of Madhya Pradesh? Have you ruled yourself out of the leadership question?
Didi, totally ruled out. I was a chief minister for 10 years. New people should come in. And I have said so in 2003 only, that I will never be wanting to become a chief minister of Madhya Pradesh again. Let new people come. Two full terms I have had. So therefore, I think I am absolutely ruled out. I am not a contestant or a candidate for the chief minister of Madhya Pradesh.
You know, as you said, Rahul Gandhi has given everybody a task there, and obviously he's doing a delicate balancing act to sort of keep everybody happy. But do you think it's important for the Congress to declare a chief ministerial face in Madhya Pradesh?
You see, it cuts both ways. There are instances where it has helped. At some places, it hasn't helped.
It helped you in Punjab, for example.
Yes, yes. But even take my example. In 1993, I was never declared as a chief minister candidate. In 2004 election, Dr. Manmohan Singh was not the prime ministerial face. Even in the last election which we won in Karnataka, Siddaramaiah was not the face of the chief minister face of the Congress
party. You didn't technically win, but
no, in
you formed the government.
Gee?
Oh, you mean the first election,
yes.
The first Karnataka?
Yes,
okay, fair enough.
So therefore, it can't be said that one has to declare a chief minister candidate to win an election.
But do you think the Congress should? What do you think? What does your gut tell you?
My gut feeling has always been that we are a parliamentary democracy. Okay, the party which wins the mandate gives this opportunity to the elected representative to choose their leader. Why should we preempt it? Let the new MLAs choose their own leader who becomes the chief minister of the state.
Well, since you're ruling yourself out completely, and let me then ask you the awkward question, Kamal Nath or Scindia? Who do you think would be a good CM?
I am not contesting the assembly elections, so I don't have a vote in that.
But you may have an opinion.
That I will not convey through the NDTV. Sorry to say that.
I thought I would try. But Mr. Singh, you're also coming back into active politics in that sense at a very interesting time when, opposition unity is a big talking point ahead of the next general election. And one of the things we're seeing Kamal Nath doing in Madhya Pradesh is talking to the BSP to stitch up an alliance there. What can you tell us about that? I mean, do you think that this is a new Congress which is ready to sort of itself perhaps take a back seat, stitch up these alliances with smaller parties, even in these states where it's a two-way contest between you and the BJP? How important is that for the party right now?
Well, if you analyze the election results in Madhya Pradesh, from Morena division to Gwalior division to Sagar division to Rewa division, there is one belt bordering Uttar Pradesh where BSP gets more than 10 to 40,000 votes. And if you see that those votes, which are primarily of the Dalits, the scheduled castes. Now, what has been the strength of the Congress party from 1952 onwards? The scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes have been overwhelmingly voting for the Congress party. So, if the scheduled caste, which the Bahujan Samaj Party does represent, if we have a tactical alliance, a pre-poll alliance with BSP, it will certainly help.
It will help. And you think that the Congress is ready, and it's caused rumblings, for instance, in Karnataka, where the Congress said, okay, let there be a JDS chief minister, etc. But do you think the Congress is ready more and more to take a back seat if needed, and that it should as we approach the general election, if needed?
You see, it's a very hypothetical kind of a question, because it depends on numbers. If you see in 2004 also, there was no pre-poll alliance, pre-2004 parliament elections. But those political parties who had fought against the Congress in the Lok Sabha poll, yet came to Congress party for a coalition, and the UPA one was formed. So therefore, if you see the 2014 election also, BJP got 283 seats on the basis of 31% votes polled in their favor. 69% voted against them. Now, if you see the by-polls of Gorakhpur, Phulpur, Kairana and other, simply
the combined vote share,
yeah. So it does work. The political arithmetic does work at in some places. It doesn't work at all places, because there are a sort of number of factors which really come to fore when this kind of a coalition comes through. So it has a state character also. Every state has its own strengths and weaknesses. So therefore, I think we'll have to go state-wise to see which are the political parties which the Congress can come together and fight.
Let me ask you about Rahul Gandhi's leadership, because you had always been pushing for him to take over the party, and he finally has. What do you think he's done right, and what do you think he's not done right?
See, one thing which he's done wrong was to take it too late. He should have taken it much earlier. In fact, had he taken the responsibility sometime in 2011, 2012, you remember in the Burari Congress, there was a demand that Mr. Rahul Gandhi should become the AICC president. But now that he has taken the challenge, there has been a definite change in the perception of people about Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And his speeches have also become much more aggressive and much more focused and pointed than what it was earlier.
Let me finally ask you, Mr. Singh, about the one thing we were all talking about all of last week, which was Pranab Mukherjee's visit to the RSS. It would be interesting to know what you thought about that, because the Congress seemed to have a very schizophrenic reaction. First, there was a lot of anger and hurt. Why is he going there? Then it was, oh, wonderful, we own him. You know, what he said was showing them a mirror, etc. What do you think about Pranab Mukherjee going there?
Well, Pranab Da is one of the most intellectual political person in the country today. He's got a phenomenal memory, and his political analysis is always been most of the time correct. By going to the lion's den, but I don't consider them as lions, but still going to the lion's den and challenging them in their own den is something which needs a lot of courage. And I think the point he made were absolutely to the core, hitting out at the core ethos, the core ideology of the RSS. Although I'm sure it fell on the deaf ears, you can't expect pracharaks who have been inculcated into the ideology of hate and violence since they were in Shishu Mandirs.
Why do you think they invited him then? It's interesting.
See, the point I see in this is the RSS is trying to sort of change its image, and they have suddenly realized that even in the best of the situation, they have not crossed 31% votes. So they want to come back, come and occupy the Congress space which has been there since 1952 elections. So they are trying to change their image from a radical fundamentalist fanatic group to a modern liberal group, and this is what I think was the reason they invited Mr. Pranab Mukherjee to.
Do you think Pranab Mukherjee has political ambitions still, as is being speculated?
Well, I don't know. I haven't met Pranab Da after he has been to Nagpur, but he's a political person.
So anything is possible?
Well, I really don't know until I have discussed with him.
All right, Digvijaya Singh, thank you for joining us on NDTV this evening. Interesting to see what happens in the Madhya Pradesh elections. As you said, Shivraj Chauhan can be beaten as long as you guys get your campaign in order and are able to take it forward from there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.